We have a complete front porch tear down and rebuild for you today, guys, all in one video. This is going to be start to finish with every single step thoroughly explained. So first things first, this porch was breaking down. So it's time to tear it down. The homeowner is ready to tear it down, wanted to tear it down, wants both a different look and a brand new porch. So we're going to give it to them. First things first, we tear the porch completely down to grade height, and in doing so, we noticed a lot of wood structure rot and damage, so we had to replace studs, sheathing. There's a video out on how we did that. We put water and ice shield up, rubberized membrane to completely protect that wall. Next things next, we completely clean our block that are below grade, and we're going to be pouring an 8-inch concrete base on top. Once that base is set, we lay out for our brick, make sure we have our brick shelf, and we will then be laying our block. Now, the footing below this base is 3 foot. Now we have our brick ruler out, and we're laying out for our brick. Its courses out where they're going to be laid on a 5. Now we're going to be laying our block. Our first block height is going to be 5.5 inches above the sidewalk, and then each one on top of that will be 7.75 inches. We lay all of the block for each step, and then we fill, and then we put our line block after we build our corners. We run in between, and then we once again fill to make it completely solid. We fill our block with concrete, and then we fill in back of the block our platform with 3/4 clean stone for drainage. Here it is. We're still building our steps. We like to butter both sides with 1 trowel full to save time. Pretty nifty. Now we're putting our final step on. This is our landing. So each rise is 7.75, 7.75, 7.75, and the bottom is 5.5. But once the limestone tread is on, we'll have 7.75 there as well. Now we're coursing out for our brick. Again, this is going to be on a 5. Each step is going to have 3 courses of brick. Only 2 courses of that brick are going to be exposed once the limestone is on. Now we check plumb, level, and square in our block and brick always, and then we run. We build our corners first, and then we run in between. Now when laying the brick, like I said, you want 3 courses of brick per step. With the limestone on, only 2 courses of the brick will be exposed. That will be your 7.75 inches. You want pitch running away from the home in both directions on the brick, the block, and the limestone. This brick is a red matte brick with a round rollover joint. This porch will feature 4 steps and then a platform. And then the step going into the house will be 4 inches. Now we're finishing our final brickwork. We are sweeping it off to make it clean after doing the joints. And here's the finished blockwork. Now that that's done, it's time for our limestone. Our limestone is rock faced all the way around except for the back. Now we wet all of our steps using a water that has an acrylic fortifier in there that acts as a bonding agent as well. Our mix is type M mortar, and it has an acrylic fortifier in it as well. So it's type M sand, water, acrylic fortifier, and we wet the bottom of the limestone to help with adhesion, and then we set. Once these limestones are on, it's all measured to 7.75 inches. So we're 7.75 inches off the sidewalk from one step to the next, one step to the next, one step to the next, and then once our concrete is poured, we'll be 4 inches in to the landing. Now we have our rebar in. We're pouring our 4,500-pound concrete platform. From that platform to the opening of the door is 4 inches. We're using our rake to tamp it down and get all the rocks down and cream to the top. Now we have our mag float. This is where we're getting everything smooth, but it still leaves a little bit of humps. You'll need a finished trowel after that. Now we're just putting our edge on that we eventually float out. Now we got our steel trowel out. We knock down any humps, bumps, lumps, what have you. We want it to be perfectly flat, but pitched away from the home in both directions. Now this next part is key. We use a float. We're floating it with a sponge float because we want a rough finish for traction. Now we're using our hose, spraying down the porch, scrubbing it down for any splatter, making sure it's clean. Here is our rough finish on the porch. Again, you want it rough for traction. You don't want it to be slick or slippery when it's wet. Now that that is done, we let it sit for a week. Then we come back and we install the railings. First things first, we have to put all the siding back over that water and ice shield, all that area that we repaired, that's shown in a different video. Now it's time to install our railings. Our railings must sit no more than 3 inches off the bottom of the rail, of the bottom of the step, excuse me. They must not exceed 36. They must be at least 36 inches in height, excuse me, but shouldn't exceed 38, so 36 to 38. They are stuck in the stone 5 inches, as that's what they previously were. We then use our rapid set cement all mortar mix to set them in. It is high strength and rapid set. We plumb level and square the rails. And here is our finished look. Hose it down, give it a bath, make it look all nice. Thanks for watching.